Hello everybody. Okay, we're going to pull some cards for the new moon coming up, but I want to talk really quickly about this one because it's one of the more, I personally think this is going to be one of the bigger new moons that we have in all of 2026. Just with everything happening in it, it's got so much potential for some serious forward movement if you choose. It's a choice. We have a massive new moon happening in Aries at the 27-degree decan mark, with a huge stellium that will last. The energy on this one is going to last mid to late April. It is the first new moon of the year, of our astrological year. So we're talking about karmic fresh starts. You're looking at about a 2 to 6 week manifestation time for intentions. You're going to want to know where in your natal chart this is falling, like what house, because that is where you're going to see a huge, what I would call clean slate energy trying to come to the forefront. This particular new moon, when we look at the themes, it correlates to a lot of global themes because it is happening at that 27-degree decan mark. And when we talk about the 27-degree decan and sort of what that all encompasses, there's a lot of collective global mundane energy that comes into this. It's also the final push to clean something up and clear it out so that something new can start. You're going to see these global themes revolve around mastering or correlating to like mastering the self, how we show up in our world. Again, the me versus we, themes about our role in how we're showing up in that particular house system that this falls in for you. It's about, again, actionable accountability through bold, fresh starts, especially after Pisces. We have the North Node still in Pisces, so there is still a little bit of a easy woe happening here, and Saturn is a really big part of this as well. And so because of that, with Pisces and Aries just not being buddies, there is a stagnation almost, but it's not actually a stagnation. It's a call to do your final clear out. It's your spring cleaning time energetically. So with the stellium, we're looking at, well, actually, the 27-degree decan correlates with Gemini energy. And so you're going to see a lot of themes revolving around duality. Like you've got two choices. Which one do you want to take? There's no right or wrong choice on that one. It correlates to curiosity, communication. So you're going to see a lot of conversations or thinking or journaling. And it's very internal based for this one about where you want to go and what you need to release. So our North Node in the stellium is looking to end something so that it can start something that we've been afraid to start. If you've been worried about taking a step forward, the North Node is saying it's time. This is what the stellium is really pushing for. Neptune is coming in for the stellium with a ridiculous level of self-awareness. Mars is the ruler of this one, so again, that actionable accountability. Saturn's in there, so we're looking at personal karma tied to self-awareness. That is what this decan and the Sabian symbol regarding this one is about. Mercury, it's your communication, requiring maturity within how you're speaking and finding your own solutions rather than catering to the solutions of people around you. But you do want to really be watching your words through this. It's going to be fiery. Chiron is there, and that's that, again, karmic clearing revolving around holding true to yourself, regardless of that criticism, and reclaiming your own needs and expectations. The Sabian symbol for this one is a large disappointed audience. And the disappointment in that audience is due to the fact that the person, the native, you, are starting to show up in ways that work best for you, that do not work best for the people around you. And so there's this disconnect that's happening between your authenticity and the support for that authenticity. And it's asking you to say, hey, where do you need to let go of certain things, people's expectations, in order to step forward and set new intentions and start a new journey that actually is in keeping with and supports your best interest. So it's about accepting that you can't please everybody. You just can't. That's what this new moon is really about. Where have you been people pleasing? Where do you need to prioritize so that you can better show up for the collective? So those are your general themes surrounding the new moon. You do want to look to see what house it's falling in. If you don't know what house it's falling in, just reach out to me. I will pull your chart for free and let you know what house you can, and the themes that surround that house, and where they're falling. Let's pull some cards, 3 cards. And then I'll go get my oracle deck and we'll do an oracle pull as well for you guys. I just wasn't as organized as I probably should have been. All right, 3 cards. This is just tarot. What do we need to be focused on for this? Yeah, okay. Those just came out. Personal self-value, worth, resourcing, where you're putting that, who you're depending on, creating wealth, not just around you, but how you use that external space to validate the internal space, and where we can actually be more in alignment and creating balance within that. Who have you been catering to that's not allowed you to live within your authenticity? And where can we find better balance within those spaces so that we can walk within the authenticity that we actually are being called towards, and finding that support. 1 second, I'm gonna grab my oracle deck. Okay, we're gonna pull Divine Abundance to start. We're gonna ask Spirit for this new moon. What is our mantra for this one? What are the things that we need to think about? What is our mantra? Right now. Stay in the present and don't get too far ahead of the flow. You'll soon trust that nothing more will come than can be handled in each moment. Where are your spoons versus jars? Where are you capable of just sitting down and putting some boundaries in? Saturn's a really big part of this new moon, and it really is asking us to mature our conversations and to mature our perspectives. It's asking us to show up in more authentic ways. So how do we do that right now? Then you have to look within your own self of where you're acquiescing boundaries that you shouldn't be acquiescing. What are you accepting that you don't need to be accepting? And where can you bring more maturity and self-awareness? This new moon is really about the self-awareness of really, where are you at right now? What are we doing right now in life? All right, Goddess deck. Which goddess can we channel? Who would like to come through so that we can maximize the energy on this? Dementor. I love this. This is your nurturer. This is the goddess who is the dissolution goddess. She's going to come in. She's going to nurture you from a space of allowing you to let go. This is the goddess that, and look at her number. She's number 11. It's a master number. This is that mastery of self, nurturing within oneself. So if this is a new moon that falls, let's say in your 7th house, for example, you're going to want to look at where your relationships are nurturing versus not. Where is the audience disappointed? And as a result, you chose to show up outside of your authenticity to try to please them. Where is that happening that it doesn't need to be? If it's happening in your second house, where are you putting external value in order to create internal value? Where can we create better boundaries emotionally so that we can hold that sense of value without needing our external world to support and prop us up? So as you work with your intentions for this new moon, Dementor's asking you to really think about where it is that you need to have a more nurturing space regarding personal boundaries, self-empowerment, and people-pleasing. Also, what new thing have you been too afraid to start? She really likes new beginnings. That master number is pretty big. All right, I hope that helps for you guys. Again, if you need somebody to tell you where this falls in your chart, just let me know. I can pull a chart for you. It doesn't take very long. You just need to ask. All right, love you guys.